a Ukrainian FPV drone caught a Russian soldier all alone. Upon seeing the drone, the soldier panicked and didn't know what to do. He tried to escape several times, but soon realized it was impossible. He pleaded with the drone, but none of his desperate efforts saved him from becoming its target. Exhausted and seemingly resigned, a Russian soldier gives up trying to escape an approaching Ukrainian FPV drone. As the drone closes in, he raises his hand, not in defense, but as if signaling it to stop or avoid hitting him. But the drone operator remains focused and determined. July 28, 2025. The Ukrainian 414th UAV Brigade, known as the Magyar Birds, tracked a Russian soldier using an FPV drone. The Russian soldier ran with all his might to escape the drone, but it wasn't enough. An FPV drone from Ukraine's 3rd Assault Brigade targeted a lone Russian soldier in an open field. The isolated soldier fought hard to escape the drone, but didn't drop the heavy backpack, weighing him down. He tried rapid maneuvers and even fired at the drone several times. This intense struggle lasted for minutes. However, the drone's superior agility always kept it one step ahead of the soldier's every move. After a long chase and battle, the Russian soldier ultimately became the drone's target, failing to escape. July 29, 2025. 2 Russian soldiers were spotted outside their trench near the village of Torske in the Donetsk region. At the same time and location, 2 Ukrainian soldiers were conducting a reconnaissance mission in the forest. The soldiers unexpectedly encountered each other, and a firefight broke out. The Ukrainian troops threw several grenades into the shelter and opened fire. After the brief but intense clash, the Russian soldiers decided to surrender. The Ukrainian 64th Mechanized Battalion spotted Russian soldiers inside a forest near Kupiansk. Upon noticing the drone, the Russian troops froze, either out of panic, fear, or the mistaken belief that staying still would keep them hidden. But this proved to be a critical error. The FPV drones targeted the Russian soldiers one by one. None of them managed to escape using this tactic. Ukrainian drones set up ambushes for numerous Russian soldiers over the Sumy region. Waiting along the Russian troops' routes with drones, Ukrainian forces repeatedly caught the Russian soldiers helplessly as they passed by. Russian soldiers didn't even have time to notice the drone, let alone fight back. Many times, individual soldiers, and sometimes groups, became targets of the drone. Soldiers of Ukraine's 68th Separate Jaeger Brigade are being rapidly evacuated from their position under FPV drone attacks and incoming fire. They must act with extreme speed. At any moment, a Russian drone could strike their location. In a matter of seconds, the troops throw out water and ammunition from a Max Pro armored vehicle, quickly climb inside, and the driver speeds off. Suddenly, 2 Russian FPV drones launch back-to-back attacks on the fleeing vehicle. Despite the close calls, the Ukrainian soldiers managed to escape the danger zone, shaken, but unharmed and alive. Ukrainian Signum Battalion's fiber optic FPV drones targeted and destroyed Russian artillery positions. One by one, Russian artillery batteries positioned in the Lyman direction were struck by the precision of Ukrainian FPV drones, showcasing the growing effectiveness of drone warfare on the modern battlefield. Even though Russian troops carefully camouflaged their artillery systems, they didn't stand a chance against Ukrainian drone operators, who had become extremely skilled in detection and maneuver tactics. FPV drone operators from Ochakiv, part of the Ukrainian Defense Forces, carried out a drone strike on Russian positions at the Kinburn Spit. The drones targeted locations where Russian soldiers were using abandoned houses as shelters, delivering precise and effective strikes on Russian positions. The Ukrainian Phoenix Unmanned Systems Regiment carried out kamikaze attacks against Russian soldiers on motorcycles. Although the Russian troops relied on motorcycles to move quickly across difficult terrain, it wasn't enough to protect them from becoming targets. Instead, the drones turned them into easy targets. Despite their speed and mobility, Russian soldiers on motorcycles proved vulnerable to Ukrainian kamikaze FPV drone strikes. The difficult terrain forced them to rely on these bikes for quick movement, but the drone's precision and agility turned that advantage into a deadly weakness. July 27, 2025. Ukraine's 12th Special Forces Brigade, Azov, identified a Russian T-72 tank. Kamikaze drone strikes were immediately launched against the armored vehicle. Despite a series of back-to-back attacks, the tank's heavy armor initially allowed it to continue without significant damage. However, after multiple precise drone strikes, the tank eventually lost its mobility and was left disabled on the battlefield. 6 kamikaze drones were used to stop the Russian T-72. While the tank wasn't fully destroyed, its movement was disabled. One final drone attempted to strike through the hatch, but missed. In the last seconds, the tank is seen burning. Ukrainian artillerymen spectacularly destroyed a Russian D-30 Howitzer, along with its ammunition near the village of Sagi in the Kherson region. The precise strike resulted in a powerful explosion, leaving no chance for recovery. Since the beginning of September, Ukraine's 66th Brigade has struck numerous Russian targets using FPV drones. Russian soldiers spotted far from the front line near Ukrainian defensive positions were taken out one by one with precision drone strikes. The targets often included Russian military vehicles transporting ammunition to frontline positions. Unarmored and unprotected, these vehicles became some of the easiest targets for Ukrainian drones. After one such strike, a Russian soldier is seen running for his life from the destroyed vehicle. But in the middle of open terrain, there's little chance of escape. The Russian soldier fought to survive until the very last moment, but the drone operator remained relentless. In the end, the soldier couldn't escape. He became the drone's final target. Soldiers from the Drone Systems Battalion of Ukraine's 110th Separate Mechanized Brigade spotted a Russian tank preparing to assault Ukrainian positions. Without hesitation, they launched an FPV drone straight at the advancing armored vehicle. One precise strike was all it took. The tank was stopped permanently, never reaching the front line. Russians may rely on heavy armor, but against Ukraine's skilled drone pilots, there's no place to hide. The 110th continues to operate with precision and power. One less vehicle, one less threat. Ukrainian 64th Mechanized Brigade targets Russian armored vehicles. Ukraine's 64th Mechanized Brigade continues to intensify its drone warfare operations. Using a combination of FPV and kamikaze drones, the brigade has recently launched a series of devastating strikes against Russian armored vehicles across key positions along the front. Russian BMPs, MTLBs, and even heavily armored personnel carriers have been struck while in motion, supply runs, or in static defensive positions. Ukrainian drone operators displayed exceptional skill, tracking, locking, and precisely striking targets with deadly efficiency. Even well-camouflaged or actively maneuvering vehicles proved vulnerable. Some were immobilized, others exploded on impact. These strikes not only weakened enemy logistics, but also created psychological pressure, forcing Russian units to rethink movement strategies near the front lines. As of July 29, 2025, the war in Ukraine remains intense, with heavy fighting continuing across several key fronts. In the Donetsk region, Ukrainian forces are holding defensive lines near Torsky and Lyman, repelling repeated Russian attacks. Ukrainian drone strikes and artillery fire have been instrumental in slowing Russian advances. In the Kupiansk direction, Russian forces are attempting to gain ground, but are facing strong resistance. Ukrainian units have successfully disrupted supply routes and destroyed forward Russian positions using precision drone strikes. In the Kherson region, Ukrainian artillery units and special forces continue to target Russian positions across the Dnipro River. Near the village of Sagi and along the Kinburn Spit, Russian troops face constant drone and artillery attacks, limiting their ability to maneuver or regroup. Overall, Ukrainian forces maintain tactical initiative in several sectors, relying heavily on drone warfare mobility, and accurate targeting to offset Russia's numerical advantage. The battlefield remains fluid, but Ukrainian precision strikes and defensive coordination are proving increasingly effective.